Hello, I'm attorney Allan Friedman, and I'm here today to talk to you about the new 10% cash option on bonds below $20,000. Now, what's happened is the judges of the state of Connecticut got together and said that it's very unfair for poor people that they're paying all this money to bail bond agents and not getting the money back. Let me explain to you how that works. So, before the bail reform that started on January 1st, if you had, let's say, a $10,000 bond, let's use that as a round number for our explanation. If you had a $10,000 bond and you use a bail bond person, you would pay a premium to the bail bond person of $1,000 for that $10,000 bond. They would post a surety bond and release you from jail right away. But that $1,000, you would never get it back. So that was basically, their pay to assure that you show up in court and to the convenience of getting you out of jail. It's kind of like an insurance premium. So that adversely affects a lot of low-income people, because people who are more affluent, who had more money, would just post the entire $10,000 and not pay the $1,000 fee to the bail bondsman. So what the judges did, they got together without the legislature, they just rewrote the practice book. That's the rule that us lawyers use to practice law. That's the rules of the court. And they said that any bond below $20,000, now it's very important that you pay attention to this, any bond below $20,000, you no longer need to go to court to ask a judge for permission to post a 10% cash option. So it's automatic 10% cash bail for any bond below $20,000. So if your bond is $20,000, you can put $2,000 cash and get out immediately, post it with the clerk, it sits. At the end of the case, you get it all back. If your bond is $10,000, you post $1,000. At the end of the case, you get it all back. Whatever number it is, it's 10%. You post it, you get it all back. I would assume that if you're in jail, if your loved one comes to the jail with the cash, you're going to post the cash and get it all back. The reason why I'm assuming this is because right now it's January 3rd as I'm speaking. This just passed, so this is brand new. A couple of things to keep in mind about this, all right? Number one, as of I'm speaking to you now in January of 2020, the police department, the clerks, and the jails are not going to take credit cards for this cash bond. It has to be cash. So if you want to use a credit card, you need to use a bail bond agent, which you can do. The bail bond agent will take your credit card and let you out right away, but you're not going to get your money back. Another thing is, if you don't have the full amount, a bail bond agent will work with you. And by the way, I'm not trying to endorse bail bond agents or send them business. I'm just helping people out and giving information to the community. Bail bond agents do perform a very useful service that a lot of people, don't like to recognize, but they do, because what they'll do for you is they'll set you up with a payment plan that they don't like to talk about, but they'll do it. If you have a job, or if you have resources available to you, they will give you a payment plan. You can put down 35% of the bond amount and make payments to the bail bond agent over 15 months. So sometimes that's very useful to you. Okay, so we talked about bonds less than $20,000. Now, a lot of my clients have bonds that are a lot higher. And by the way, I'm going to make a prediction. Okay, I'm making a lot of predictions because it's the beginning of the year, right? And I've been doing this for 28 years now, so I'll make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction that if you're in police custody, the police officers are very rarely going to set a $20,000 bond these days. It's probably going to be a $25,000 bond. We're going to see a lot of them because the police don't like these kind of reforms. It doesn't make them happy. They don't make things easier on you. So I can see a lot of $25,000 bonds coming down the pike. So anyway, we'll see how that works out throughout the end of the year, and I'll report back to you. Anyway, if your bond is more than $20,000, let's say you got a $50,000 or $100,000 bond, let me make a suggestion to you. This is something I've been working on for quite some time now for all of my clients, anyone who can afford to do it. The bail bondsman charge 7%, okay? If you contact me, if you have a warrant for your arrest, if you know about it. Now listen, if you're in police custody and you want to get out immediately, there's nothing I can do for you. But if you know about a warrant and you're aware of it, contact my office, and what we can do is we can arrange to have you turned in as an overnighter. And there's two things that I can do for you at my office, a couple of services that we provide. Number one, If you're arraigned and you don't have a private lawyer like myself, you're going to have a public defender who's going to literally get a sheet of paper 30 seconds before you walk out the alleyway in handcuffs, and they're going to look at that sheet, and that's all they're going to know about your case. So if you have a private lawyer, we can spend more time getting to know you and putting a human face on you, make a little bit more effective bond argument. Maybe we can get your bond lowered, right? Sometimes we even get it lowered to a promise to appear. You don't have to put up any money for a bond. Not saying that's going to happen in your case, but maybe we can get the bond lowered, lower than $100,000. Maybe we get it lowered down to $50,000. That just saves you half of the money for your bond. That might be enough money to retain an attorney. So another thing that we can do for you is we can ask the judge at your arraignment to convert your bond to a 10% cash option. Now, for a bond over $20,000, you still need the court's permission for the 10% cash option. It's not automatic. That's where a private lawyer comes into effect. This may seem very complicated. If you have any questions, give me a call and I'll be happy to explain it to you if you have any questions about bond. One more thing I want to discuss in this video, and that's really quick, but it's very simple. A lot of people who have warrants, before the warrant even comes out, the first thing that's going to happen, the police officer is going to call them up and say, listen, I'm officer so-and-so from the so-and-so police department, and I'm investigating this allegation against you. I'd like to have you come in and give your side of the story, right? And they'll seem like they're so friendly, and it just seems like such a welcome opportunity to just come in and straighten things out and just give your side of the story, and they make it seem like everything's just going to go away. No, everything's not going to go away. If you give your side of the story, you're just incriminating yourself. Please exercise your right to remain silent. Don't say anything. Contact a criminal defense attorney such as myself before you say anything. We will always tell you not to go in and speak to police. If you want to get your side of the story out, talk to me. I'll have a very sympathetic ear, and everything you're telling me is attorney-client privilege. It's not going to go any further than this office. What the time to get your story out is if we can't work your case out in court and you have to take your case to a jury. That's the time to give your side of the story, not to the police. If you have any comments about this video, feel free to post them below and I'll answer your comments and share them with the community. If you've enjoyed the content here in this video, you'd like to get some more similar videos, please subscribe. I'll be posting more videos about criminal law. I thank you for watching the video. I hope it was helpful in explaining bail reform.